Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hello, welcome to the Port Charles 411. Today is part 2 of our conversation with Rob, and we did receive clarification on how to pronounce his last name. He asked his Italian grandfather years ago. He confirmed it, Rosiello. So thank you so much, Rob, for letting us know exactly how to pronounce your last name. It is something that terrifies me every single time I have to say one of our fans' names, let alone their last names. I'm always so worried I'm going to mispronounce it. So I really appreciate you taking the time to send that to us. And we hope that you all enjoy part 2 of our chat with Rob.
So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've been, because I've been thinking about this like all weekend. I'm like, all right, what am I going to talk about? And I definitely wanted to hit the reality check thing. I definitely wanted to talk about the Susan Lucci movie because I had referenced it in a previous email. My favorite characters, storylines that go nowhere, you know.
So what do you want to know more about, though? Because you've only been watching for 3 years.
So all right, I know this is a monumental undertaking. You have addressed this. I would love a 411 series on Carly.
Oh, that's going to take us forever.
I know it's going to take forever.
We still want to do it, yep.
Because the character
we were around since day one. So even if they do somehow take down all the videos, I feel like our research, we would be able to remember so much of it.
Yes. Because the character is so fascinating. Like, she is another one. You know, I know your feelings on Nina, that Nina can't get out of her own way sometimes, but, you know, Carly can't get out of her own way sometimes either. And her daughter is becoming like a mini me version. And I kind of love that they're paralleling her and Joss in that way. I mean, I loved her and Jason. I did, you know, I came in late to the game, but I was there when Sonny ended up in Nixon Falls. You know, the best thing to come out of Nixon Falls was the character of Phyllis. You know, I love the character of Phyllis. I would love to see more of her on the show. But you know, Carly can't get out of her own way sometimes too. And that's what makes her so endearing is you can identify with like, oh yeah, I've had those moments. Or that's been me. I've not known when to shut up and sit down. And, you know, so that's something that I would love to see more of is the story of Carly. And I don't know how you could break it up if you broke it up by actress who did it, because I know there's been several over the years. So
it
maybe
would have to be, it would have to almost be like storyline.
Yeah.
Because we're going to try to do Bobbie. We're going to do Bobbie. I don't know. I don't think we're going to do it justice, no matter how hard we try.
I mean, she was on forever.
You know, I wonder when I saw the nurses' ball, which I love that they spent so much time on the nurses' ball, but it did feel like it was like a week, like the nurses' ball. I felt like they highlighted Bobbie, and at the time before she passed, the actress passed, it seemed like they did a real interesting, like nice retrospective of the character of Bobbie during the nurses' ball.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if they knew that she was struggling.
Yeah.
And they were paying homage to her so that she could still enjoy it. Whereas it seems like, I think it was Sonia Eddy who played Epiphany, that seemed to come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I wonder, I mean, I got the Epiphany episode killed me. I can only imagine what the Bobbie episode is going to be like.
That's not going to be good.
We're going to need boxes of Kleenex.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely agree. I think Jackie probably knew that her time was coming,
or even if she didn't know that her time was coming, that she was feeling the effects of trying to fight it and wasn't going to be able to perform. She was
going to have to sit down.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I mean, where's Monica, you know? And we hear about her a lot, but Jack, like,
I thought it was brilliant the way that they had her call in during the end of like when Liz was in the chapel. I thought that was brilliant of them to do that because my question too was like, where's Monica? Like Monica should be here for that. And the fact that Monica called in and we got to hear Monica, I thought was great.
And it was Leslie Charleson, and it was, and I think that they learned the hard way when they recast her when Leslie broke her wrist.
I think that's when it was.
Ago. The woman they replaced her with, no, we can't ever do that again because it was just not good. I always feel bad for Brianna Lane was the Brooklyn that you were introduced to.
Yes.
I really liked her. I thought she was an excellent recast. I love that they brought her back.
That was brilliant. I thought that was brilliant to bring her back for that one little bit. And I'm like, perfect. That's a nice nod. And I love that she got recognized, I think, with like a special guest Emmy Award nomination.
I think so. Yeah.
I thought that was really great because she was good.
Yep.
She was good. But I think she was good because she found a way to make it her own, but still follow how Brooklyn acted. Yeah. Whenever they had the Monica replacement, it was just too forced. Like she was trying to fit in that box.
Yeah.
You know something that I would also like to, I don't know if this would be an easy thing. I find it very, I find it really cool that they tackle all these hard topics like HIV and AIDS, and the Nurses Ball is built around that. I also find that because as part of the Alan Quartermain epic was his whole addiction. And I think that when they do show recovery in the show, they do a good job with it. I would like to see more of it. Like I love when they have the recovery meetings in the hospital, because that's the thing. If it's not in a church basement, very often it's in a medical center or something. And to see Alexis there and Finn and Curtis there in the circle, just little details that like that. I would love to maybe hear where else recovery has appeared in General Hospital. And I would love to see more of that because like with the special needs children, how they have taken the time to really address that and build like a storyline around it. I think their handling of recovery has been really good and key. And I said to my husband, there's only been a couple shows that I've seen on TV that have handled that really well, like Nashville, which was an ABC show, did it really well because the character.
Jonathan Jackson was lucky.
Okay. I am embarrassed to admit. So I, of course, came in well after the lucky period, but I watched Nashville from start to finish. And it wasn't until you guys said something and then they announced online that there was going to be a tour of the UK of some of the Nashville stars. And I put two and two together and I saw these pictures side by side. I'm like, oh my God, that was lucky. And I'm like, and I watched him throughout all of Nashville. And, but Nashville with Deacon from the very beginning, they did a great job. And it wasn't a stereotypical, AA storyline, or they didn't mock it. They did a really good job, and it makes sense that ABC also, is General Hospital. So I'd like to know more about how recovery has been handled in General Hospital over the years. And, writers, if you're listening, I'd love to see more of that,
And also to that point, it just occurred to me that Willow should seriously be in hardcore therapy because she should be, everyone handles it differently. But I would imagine it would be really difficult to find out that the baby you gave birth to passed away, that you never got to know. And now you're adopting this baby. And yes, like they went to Jonah's grave, but I would love to see the struggle she has with all of that, because yes, she actively gave away her baby to protect it from Shiloh and this, that, and the other. Oh, you would have been after Shiloh too.
Yeah.
He was a cult leader. Dawn of Day was very much like Nexium. Yes. We should see her. And I think that would actually probably be a really good way for her and Nina to connect, is if they did do some kind of like a grief support group, because that's actually where she met Michael, was sitting outside of it. And they never, ever mentioned it again. Like they talked about the fact that they went to this group a couple times. How is that still not... I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm like lifelong therapy. So good for her if she's been able to grow out of it. But I would imagine, especially just having another baby.
I was going to say, having baby Amelia should have triggered her to have some type of feelings.
Well, I think what'll be interesting is to watch Willow now that she's on the mend, we hope. what that life beyond post-cancer is going to be like for her. Because technically, I guess she'll be in remission because you're not cancer-free, I think, you're in remission for a number of years and then you're declared cancer-free. Right, yeah. So in that remission period, once she's back home, life is back to normal as much as it can be in Port Charles. And what then when she's suddenly not dealing with these life and death situations, then everything sort of settles down. How does that affect her?
Well, yeah, because right now she's just on adrenaline and going. But then you're right. I mean, she's finally going to have time to break down.
Mm-hmm.
And like Sasha, I think the way that they handled it, I agree with you guys. After a while, it was like, okay, give Sasha a break. Just give her a 5-minute break to catch her breath. Let us catch our breath. And I think she seems to be now on the upswing. Mm-hmm. But some of those moments, I really love the character of Sasha, the actress who plays her. She's funny, and yet she can break your heart. And, her addiction as well was an interesting storyline to touch on, and how all consuming it was and the poor choices you can make. Like she made some really bad choices and that was a yell at the TV moment. Right. But when it happens, what can you do?
But they haven't really, she's talked about it, but we don't see her going to meetings. We don't see her doing those things. So is that in her future? Is she going to join that group at the hospital? Why hasn't she been doing that?
And they're missing an opportunity with Gladys and the gambling addiction. Yeah. Because they're making her seem like she's just a bad person instead of, I think she doesn't. If you're $80,000 in debt on one game or whatever that was.
I agree that is a big problem, but I wasn't picking up on Gladys having a gambling addiction.
I think she has a gambling addiction.
I would say it's addictive behavior because she realizes it's wrong. She knows that she should do it. And yet all Ms. Wu has to say is, there's a seat at the table.
Right.
And suddenly she's like, I can change. And it's addict behavior. It's not a substance. It's an activity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But because everyone already doesn't want to like Gladys, I feel like they're not honing in on that storyline the way that they could. It's like, oh, she's just spending Sasha's money because she's a bad person.
Gladys is one of those that I want to like her. I want to like Gladys. I want to like her because she's a little rough around the edges and I kind of like that. But another one, I'm like, oh, just when you think you're on solid ground, mm-hmm. Gladys does something and you're like, oh.
I thought she was getting into the gambling just because she was kind of being forced to. I don't see her actually enjoying it. Mm. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. Because I feel like she doesn't want to be doing it, but Ms. Wu's kind of, you're right. There's a seat at the table, but
I think there's a certain thrill for her. It seems like when she goes into the game, there's a certain thrill.
Because she's playing with the high society people, the high rollers that she would have not been able to play with before.
But that's also been her whole thing ever since she came to Port Charles. She was like, you're leading this glamorous life and I'm not.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I think it would be interesting if they rolled it into her having, so maybe once Ms. Wu somehow releases her, she then is like, wait, I missed that. Then that would be uncovering the addiction part.
Right.
Huh.
Another thing that would be kind of fun, because I've gone and seen clips online, the top 10 fights on General Hospital. There was a moment where I think it was Carly said to Sam, you don't know what it's like to lose a child. And Sam went, whack. And I'm like, baby Lila, she sure does.
Yeah.
I think we put a poll out for that one time. And I think that it was mostly Carly getting hit.
Yeah.
Because it was also Liz.
Yeah.
Good one, though. Oh, it was, because that's when we were doing the wrestling crossover. We put out what were your favorite.
Yes.
I'm like, I know that we saw this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there have been some good fights. Yeah.
Nell and Willow were a good one.
Yes. Yeah. Do you think Willow's dead, or do you think that Nell is dead?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Identified the body, but never came back and said, yep, it was.
Like, we saw Peter August going into the bag. We saw Victor Cassadine.
Right.
You know, but yeah, we didn't see Nell. And, you know, I had such a little time with Nell. I saw some of the clips of Nell. And again, it was, you know, Carly slapping Nell, but like some of the clips of Carly and Nell going at it, you know. So I was there for the whole her falling off the cliff and Carly not knowing what to do and, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the mystery of the locket, the whole tracking down the jeweler who made the locket. Stuff like little things like that I really liked. You know, those little bits of mystery.
Kind of took a shift too. Like, I feel at least that changed from where we were originally going to where we are now, where it was both girls had piece of the locket.
That was an interesting twist, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, Donna Mills played Madeline, correct?
Yes.
Donna Mills from Knots Landing. And it was interesting that you would have daytime people who would then leave their daytime careers, make it big on nighttime or movies. And then you would now, once the 80s and 90s soaps died away, you had the migration of some of the nighttime soap people showing up on daytime, which I always thought was really great.
Well, I mean, John Stamos got his start in General Hospital.
As Blackie, yeah. Yep.
We are going to do an entire series probably on who got their start. We actually have, I don't know. I got through most of the cast list and I probably only have like 50 names to go through. Everyone that has been on both Desperate Housewives and General Hospital.
Oh, there's a ton.
Yep.
It's a ton. Yeah.
So,
and I was a huge, start to finish Desperate Housewives fan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And there's been talk and chatter about a reboot, and
I don't want one. I don't want one.
No, I do.
I do.
I
do.
They ruined the original.
I'm gonna have faith.
Looking at you and just like that.
I'm gonna have faith.
Oh, I already have an idea. Like I always said, if they were to do it, because I didn't like the way it ended. I didn't like the way Desperate Housewives ended, and it made it seem like there was definitely no way they were going to do a reunion or a reboot or anything. But you know how TV works; they can always rewrite things.
Right.
You know.
Well, you didn't like how it ended. I liked the last episode. I liked seeing everyone except for Edie.
I loved me some Nicolette Sheridan. But yeah, that was unfortunate that she was there. But I love that. What I didn't like where they said this was the last time that they were ever together. And that part of it I didn't like. I loved when Susan drove around and they were all in white. And that I thought was a very fitting way for Desperate Housewives to end. But I would love to see Desperate Housewives to come back. I even watched Devious Maids.
See everyone go their separate ways, and it's like you guys just spent
20 years together, and you're not going to exchange numbers, right?
Yeah, you're never going to see each other again. But then the idea is, what would be the event that would bring them all back? What would be the reason that they would all come back? So my idea, because, you know, the writing mind constantly goes, somebody decides they're going to film a series called Wisteria Lane, and they are filming it on location, and all of the originals come back because they're trying to dig up dirt about one of the scandals that happened. So what happens is Susan meets the actress playing her, Lynette meets the actress playing her, Bree meets the actress playing her, and it becomes this, you know, mystery within the show. That's what would bring them all back. Or
I like
death of one of the characters.
That.
Yeah.
Ooh,
it should
get him to be a writer on this, please?
It should be John that brings it back. That like does everything because he was younger. Like I'm sleeping with a married woman, blah blah blah. When he was underage.
Well, that's the thing is the mystery is who wrote the script. It's based on a book that was written anonymously or something, or a TV pilot, and they can't. It could be any of them. It could be Zach. Yeah. It could be one of the twins. It could be John. It could be Susan's daughter. It could be anybody who wrote the script that this is based on. So there's that mystery. And
Julie's daughter. It could be like, I heard these stories about my grandma. Maybe Julie's daughter will start a podcast. Maybe it won't be a TV show, but it'll be a podcast. So she's like, I heard these stories about my mom's street or my grandma's street, and I need to find out. And I love your idea. I would like the show aspect of it though, because you have to have Bree being no. This is how you do it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's the sort of thing that goes on in my head. I'm like, you know. And the same thing with General Hospital. I'm like, if they would only do this, or if this would only happen, or if this character came back, they could do X, Y, and Z, those sort of things.
Well, like there's a character from All My Children that I have to research that, I mean, it's been all over the place. This is not a spoiler. There's somebody coming from All My Children to General Hospital that I have no idea who they are. Yet when we did the Anna Alex.
You do know who he is, but go ahead.
But I didn't focus in on him.
You did, though, but go ahead.
Did I?
Yes, it was the person that you said you had a crush on because he had the daughter. Yeah, see? You know who it is. Yeah.
It's autistic. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
This is sort
I was focusing on Anna and Alex.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw the thing about him coming back or coming into Port Charles.
But David should be in Port Charles.
I did not know that, and it took me forever. And when I finally realized it, I'm like, I'm an idiot. When the guy who played Franco and is now playing
Austin.
Who?
Austin,
yes. That he was Todd on Live with the long hair. I knew him with the long hair when he was with Blair on that. And I kept watching him, and I'm like, why does he look so familiar? And then
he didn't have the scar. That's why you didn't recognize him.
That's exactly it.
Yep.
And he had the long shoulder-length blonde hair. And then I finally, somewhere online, someone put a picture up, and I'm like, that's why he looks familiar.
Yeah.
You need to watch when One Life to Live came to General Hospital.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you missed, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That was,
okay. Was it right when One Life to Live was ending?
What, a month after it ended?
It was
a month or two after it ended. Star, Todd, because I didn't know these people. I mean, I knew who they were. So good. And John McBain came. They were the three that stayed. That's when Cole and Hope, the baby was Hope, because that's kind of what triggered the lawsuit, wasn't it? Because the producers of One Life to Live wanted to open it back up online, and they sued General Hospital for like killing off characters that they said like they basically had like no right to be killing off because they killed off. That's how Star wound up in Port Charles. She was in the car accident. Todd came. Why did John come? I don't know, but we have Michael. He's
here with the baby. Whenever they did the one swap, I
thought John got here before that. I can't remember exactly what. But yeah, so for what? A very short period of time, though. But John McBain and Sam were together.
That was so
They
good.
were so good together. But that was because on Port Charles, John McBain, go listen to our 6 personalities of Michael Easton episode.
Okay.
There's 2 of them because he's been 6 different characters on the show. John McBain's character, one of the characters that he played on Port Charles, was with Kelly Monaco's character on there. So it's almost like they kind of reconnected those 2 together, but with different characters. But John McBain and Sam were amazing together. I loved them. And Carly was with Todd.
Yeah.
Yes, that I knew. Yes.
And that was how they reintroduced it, was Lucy seeing him and being like, oh my God, Caleb, the vampire, and yelling at Sam, Libby, you have to get away from him. And her being like, what are you talking about?
But then that kid Rafe came over and he was actually a character from Port Charles.
Yeah.
I never watched Port Charles.
I did not either.
And I love that they teased when they went on the Home and Hearth Network and they teased Erica Kane's name. And I'm like, is Susan Lucci coming on? And then when they brought Sasha back and they were trying to mess her up with the thing in the earpiece, I'm like, okay, now Erica Kane, this would be perfect for Erica Kane to come on. Nothing.
Okay, so as I obviously know who Erica Kane is. I mean, that's like someone who's never watched General Hospital, knows who Luke and Laura are. So I'm imagining in my head, just based on what you just said, so like she'd be like the top producer, the top head honcho for the Home and Heart channel. Would she have been in favor of what Morgan Fairchild was doing or not, and would have fought her about how dare you do this to this poor girl? What kind of
I think she would have fought. Yeah.
I don't think she would have liked it because she's a mother.
Right.
And she had all the struggles with her daughter as well. So I think that is what she wouldn't approve of. If it wasn't about a baby or a child, then maybe. But I think because it involved a child and she herself is a mother.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because the character of Erica Kane was all over the place. But first and foremost, she was always very sensitive when it came to her daughter.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yes.
answering that.
You're welcome. And then she had a crazy daughter too, because she had Bianca that was her daughter that she would do anything for. And then she had Kendall that came along that was insane.
Yeah.
And that was great. I loved Kendall.
So I have to just go find All My Children and watch it.
Yeah. And, you know, I feel so sad that the legacy of soap operas is so long and rich. Like I said, goes all the way back to the radio days in some cases. And while Guiding Light was the one that survived, there were several that did start on the radio and then moved onto television. I think Edge of Night might have as well. I could be wrong on that one. But at one point, there were like 12 or 13 daytime soap operas across the 3 networks. Mm-hmm. And it was literally all day long. And then slowly they started dropping, and then the big one started, and it was like a free-for-all. And it's a part of television history that once it's gone, it feels like it can't come back. And the fact that we still have 4, I loved what Days of Our Lives, I mean, it's been decades since I watched Days of Our Lives, but when they did the little companion series about Salem, I thought that was really cool that there was enough interest still and enough financial interest to sort of spread the wings a little bit. And, you know, do I think we're going to get another daytime soap anytime soon? Probably not. You know, and they've often said that American soaps should have followed the Latin countries where the novellas were limited. But what you would do is you would use the same actors over and over again, but with different stories. So, yeah, I just hope that the big 4 that are still around hold on for a while. And they've all been, you know, I think Bold and the Beautiful is the youngest of the group, and that's 30 plus years.
Yeah.
All their episodes are on Paramount.
Yeah.
Whichever one owns
Paramount Plus, yeah.
But there's a couple seasons missing, and I think that that's probably what we're running into with not being able to do that with General Hospital, because if there was like a character or something during that time that either the actor or there must be something with rights in that season that is just not available, that they're not allowed to. And I wonder if that's part of what could potentially be the problem with General Hospital.
Right.
I mean, come on. We are 60 years old at this point. Like, there should be, get over it. You know, just let them do it now.
And I hope that, you know, we hit April 1st. There was a lot of hoopla around April 1st and the Nurses Ball and the 60th anniversary. And they did the big photo shoot and all those interviews, which was great given who they lost in the cast when they lost Bobbie, that they have those interviews with her. But I hope that they continue to have plans for the whole year for the 60th anniversary. I know that the writer's strike was an unexpected glitch in things, but I really hope that there's more celebration of that 60th. It seems like we kind of slowed down on that, because there for a while they were constantly referencing things and doing flashbacks. I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah.
So Tracy's still around. So that means something is still coming, because as you know, Tracy is not, she used to be on all the time, but then she left. And
then she would come back at Christmas time, it seems.
Right. But now that she's back now, like, there's a reason. My concern is that I was reading something about how even if they have stockpiled scripts, they can't change it because of the writer's strike.
Yes.
And what if Bobbie's in them? Like, are they allowed to fully remove? Like, once they get to that point where we have scenes with Bobbie again, I feel like they're going to have to stop, because stuff has to be rewritten if she was supposed to be in the scene, if it was even supposed to be talking about her.
Yeah.
You know, well, talking about her, I guess they don't have to, but having her actively involved in something, I don't know how they're going to do that.
Right.
I mean, we don't know what they've done, because she hasn't been consistently on screen for a long time. So they could go months without her being on.
Especially if they were projecting that she wasn't going to be available.
Right. So,
yeah, they might have taken that into consideration. And that's why, like I said, I think they were so wonderful in their homage to her during the Nurses Ball. Maybe they knew that there was going to be a period where, not expecting that she would pass, but maybe that we wouldn't be using her as much.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that could hold us a little bit, but.
Yeah.
Oh. We could talk forever.
I know.
Question.
Right.
I want to talk about Nashville and Desperate Housewives.
Oh my gosh, those two! Like, what was funny was it was right as Desperate Housewives was ending, that revenge started. And I loved revenge. And it was, I love the mystery of it. I love Madeline Stowe and the character of Victoria Grayson and the whole idea of it. And Desperate Housewives and Revenge overlapped for one season. Then as Desperate Housewives ended, Revenge ended on this big cliffhanger. Then they announced they were doing Nashville. And I'm a country music fan. I'm a Connie Britton fan. And that's all you needed to tell me. And soap opera, I'm like, I am there. And I followed it. I got the CMT channel when they moved it off of ABC and they moved it off the cable. My husband was really funny. He was with me the whole ride of watching Nashville when Raina James got killed off. And that's not a spoiler because it's been off the air for years.
Right.
He was like, I'm not watching it anymore. He was done. I'm like, are you sure you don't? He's like, nope. They killed off Connie Britton. I'm done.
Yep.
Aw.
Yeah.
Did he eventually ever finish it, or did he just?
They did. No, they wrapped it up.
No, they did. Did your husband go back and?
No.
No, he
held to his guns. And I would say to him, like, it's the last couple episodes. He's like, nope. As soon as they killed her, he watched the funeral episode, which is the beginning of the next season, and he's like, I'm done.
Oh, that's funny.
It probably had to do with the amount of crying he did when they did that goodbye in the hospital. He was like, nope, can't. Yeah.
I think, so we're both country fans also, but I think it was definitely seeing Jonathan Jackson. We're like, oh,
yes,
he's doing like something big, because he still does some stuff. Like he has a band and things like that. But I feel like that was the first real big thing that he had done, at least definitely series wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
And to me, not knowing, just thinking that, it was him and Juliet, Juliet Barnes. And then literally it's been within the past year that I finally put two and two together. And I'm like, how could I not know?
To be fair, though, he didn't really look like that for too much of the time that he was on General Hospital. Like he was a little kid when he came on.
Yeah.
And then when he came back later, he had very short hair. So, I mean, on Nashville, his hair was longer.
Yeah.
The last time he was on, he had the longer hair. But I think that was during his Nashville time, wasn't it? Because that was to say goodbye to Luke.
Right.
Yeah.
But for the most part, his hair was always shorter.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a good
guy. So, and then when Desperate Housewives ended, I also was a fan of Mark Cherry, who created Desperate Housewives. When he did the jump with Devious Maids, I watched. Yes.
I'm sitting here. Did you hear me?
Because the woman who was, I forget her name, that was the lead in Devious Maids, she was also on Ugly Betty. She played the sister on Ugly Betty. And I loved her from Ugly Betty. So when she was on Devious Maids, it was another one of those, okay, A plus B equals, of course I'm going to watch it,
Right, yep.
So, So all of them, all of them. But it all goes back to my first soap opera was Dark Shadows,
I've never watched that.
Oh, it's, when you look at it now, you're like, were all soap operas this bad? Like you could see the boom mic shadow. You could see people running in the back who were accidentally caught up, because some of them were still filmed live at that point. And so, the woman, I think her name was Elizabeth Bennet, was a big movie star who played the matriarch of the family, reading off the cue cards. You could see her being like this. It was just all these campy things. And then the storylines, the special effects, because it was the whole vampire storyline. Look at it now and you're like, oh my God, but I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was hooked.
I'll have to check that out.
Did you watch Why Women Kill?
Yes.
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 So I binged that. I want to say it was 2 summers ago. The first season had just ended and they were coming on with the second season. I'd seen all these advertisements and I'm like, all right, I'll binge the first season. And I had just had my wisdom tooth taken out. So I had some downtime. It was like 1,000 degrees out and I'm sitting there with a mouthful of cotton and I'm like, And I turned it on. That scene where it was the 3 women from the different time periods all in the windows of the house. And I literally was like, I was up to like midnight that night binging that. And it was one of those that when it ended, that season ended, I was like, oh, I want more. And then luckily the new season had just started. But it's stuff like that when the past overlaps with the present and then they bring it all together. And that moment visually of seeing all the women from the 60s and the 80s and then the present day all in the same house, that to me was brilliant.
So did you read the book, The Hours, and see the movie?
Absolutely. And I lived in Provincetown when it came out, and the author, Michael Cunningham, also lived there. So in amongst my time spending in New York and here in the Philly area, I lived for 4 years on Provincetown, which is there at the end of Cape Cod. Yeah. And Michael Cunningham lives there. He has I think a summer home there, but I was living there when The Hours came out. So yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Because I love that they referenced what we know of Virginia Woolf's real life, plus as she was writing Mrs. Dalloway and then telling Mrs. Dalloway and then talking about, I mean, it was just, I don't want to give too much away, but like at the end, I was like, how did I not put that together?
Well, there's the moments like in the opening credits, and this isn't giving anything away, with the flowers. The way that the one bought the flowers and then put it in the vase, and it was the movement of the time periods. PBS has a series of Live at the Met, so they'll show operas and things. There was a production that was commissioned for the Met of The Hours, an opera version. And, anytime nowadays when they say, oh, it's a musical version of this movie or a musical version of, or an opera version of this, I'm always like, do we need that?
How's Mrs. Doubtfire a musical right now? I'm sorry. I saw that and I was like,
I have a lot of opinions as a theater queen myself. So yes, I have a lot of opinions when it comes to certain shows, but I will be watching the Tony Awards tonight, when it airs. But The Hours, the Met did The Hours. And one of the opening numbers, I think, is called The Flowers. And it shows, it does operatically and visually what the beginning of the film does. So if you ever want to check that out, if you like The Hours, the movie, check it out on PBS, the opera that was done in the Met. And Christine Baranski hosts the evening. So she does an intro backstage, and I think she does an intro, a discussion at intermission. So the opera version of The Hours was really amazing looking.
Well, the soundtrack to that was such an important part of the movie too. So I could definitely see how that could translate into.
Plus, the story is very grand and operatic and tragic in certain ways, so it fits that opera format really well as well. And, the same thing with soap operas. They're called soap operas for a reason. The soap part being a nod to the advertisers in the early days of radio and television, and the fact that some of these stories are so tragic on like a Shakespearean operatic level. As much as we don't like Nina, and I hate keeping going back to her, sometimes she is the tragic heroine that you're like, you see in an opera and you're like, why did you do that? We know that this will come to no good. But, Lady Macbeth still does the Lady Macbeth stuff.
I'm like, we could start like 3 other podcasts just by talking to you right now.
And, the reason I know, and a full disclosure too, the reason I know so much about the history of soaps and all that, when I wrote that, The Broken Hollow Banshee is the name of the show, the 4-part radio drama, I do something in theater called dramaturgy. And dramaturgy is an art form that's about 150 years old. It's German in origin. And it's a research designer for theater. So before a play goes into a production, a dramaturg sometimes will be hired as part of the team, and he or she will do all the research, and then we'll have a presentation that will be given to the actors, directors, and designers to give them an idea of the background of the show, the time period in which it was set, analyzes all the vocabulary in the show, any references, provides mood boards, provides a history of the genre. So when I was in graduate school, we had to take it as a course. I went to Villanova for grad school in theater. It was a 2-semester course. Hated the course. Did not do well in it. And now it seems I'm the go-to person in this area when some people will say, hey, we need a dramaturgical file. Would you mind doing research on the show? So when I do a research on a show, I do a deep dive into everything that's connected with it. So, for example, I did Rabbit Hole, written by David Lindsay Abaire. Cynthia Nixon won a Tony Award on Broadway for it. I did a deep dive into David Lindsay Abaire's history, the evolution of the show, the film version with Nicole Kidman, the Broadway production, regional productions, the idea of what it means to lose a child, because that's the theme of the show. So I do all this deep dive research. So for me, I geek out on the research aspect of it. So like when you guys,
job.
It's a 411 all day long.
Some of the 411s that you do are really dramaturgical research, like giving us the history of Cassadine Island. I was there like 6 o'clock one day waiting for the train to go to work, and I'm like half awake and I'm listening to the history of Cassadine Island, and I'm like, yes, I'm like, this is amazing, because it's just stuff that you might not need to know, but fills out a broader picture for you.
Exactly.
And it fleshes things out. So dramaturgy in theater, not all theaters utilize that. And a lot of people don't know what it is, but I always say it's the research designer, and I begin the process that others then pick up and run with. And as a playwright, I do a certain amount of research whenever I write a play. So like when I wrote The Broken Hollow Banshee, it's about banshees. I did all this research in the legend of banshees, come to find out that Ireland, they are very specific to Ireland. Like a lot of ghost stories or a lot of myths that you come across, every culture has a version of Pandora, or every culture has a version of this. Whereas Banshee, it is limited to Ireland. Not even the United States has a version of it. So then I became fascinated with the idea, well, what happens if you bring an Irish Banshee to the United States? Then what happens? You know, so that's how I got the idea for Broken Hollow Banshee. But I love doing the research.
The Little People?
What's that?
Did you watch Darby O'Gill and the Little People?
Yes, absolutely.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Growing up, I watched that over and over and over again. And yeah, I love that.
I fell in love with Sean Connery then.
Mm-hmm.
And that Banshee scared the heck out of me.
Everything you needed to know you learned from Disney movies growing up, and not just the animated ones, the ones from like the 60s and 70s. Mm-hmm. There's one, I think it's called Broken Glass or Shattered Glass, about a little ghost girl, and it's in a southern plantation. It's very difficult to find, but I remember it making an impact on me because it's a little boy that lives on a plantation in modern day, and he becomes friends with this little girl who somehow or another died on the plantation as a child, and it's her ghost that's trying to get a message to him. And it's really sweet in a Disney kind of way.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find. But I love that mystery of the past and the present overlapping.
Right.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of a movie. I haven't thought about this in years, but it was called A Friendship in Vienna. And it was about the Holocaust and two little girls that were friends. And one was Jewish and was, going through. It did used to have really good educational. I mean, it taught you a lot about the world. And this is something I kind of argue with my kids. I'm like, you guys have so much access to so many things that you don't go beyond what you're given, and they don't make movies like that anymore that also give the historical aspect of things.
And they did it in such a way where it wasn't like, oh, I'm being lectured about history. It was just seamlessly built in. And then you all of a sudden walk away from it and be like, oh, wow, I learned a bunch. Like the movie Candle Shoe. I loved that growing up with Jodie Foster and Helen Hayes, where it's very much a Nina and her baby sort of scenario. This old woman, Helen Hayes, has this estate, and her granddaughter disappeared and was kidnapped as a child. And she's been searching for the granddaughter. So these thieves find Jodie Foster, who's a teenager, groom her to become the granddaughter, and send her to the estate of Candle Shoe with all this information as to how to try and scheme with the old woman and steal the fortune. What she ends up doing is falling in love with this woman as like a grandmother, and says to these crooks, I can't do this. And it's Jodie Foster at her teenage best. But you learn all about English estates and about, and it's a mystery again. So yeah, I think a lot of times when I teach students, I've taught on a college level, like I had said before, they'll say, well, that's before my time. And I'm like, you know what? The Wizard of Oz is before everybody's time, and we all seem to know that pretty well. So it's just a matter of having the desire or the motivation to research something. I was in high school, and one night I was going to bed, and I had a TV in my room, a real small TV in my room. And at that point, they were still showing old movies at 11:30 after the news. And Sunset Boulevard came on. And I remember seeing that and being like, I've heard this is a really good movie. I guess I should watch it. Well, 2 hours later, I was like dead tired, but fascinated. Yeah. And because I sought those things out. And that's also probably why I teach film history now and theater history, because I want to know more. And to your point, there is so much access now that there wasn't before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's so... Do you have anything? Sorry, I just kind of nerded out.
No, you're good. You're good.
I feel like I've been rambling on, so I hope it's not. I feel like I've been rambling on, so I hope it's not. I hope some of that needs some sort of sense in all of our discussion.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, good. Good.
All right. Amanda needs to get wrapping up, though.
Okay.
Not just Amanda, but it's like, no. It's...
I could talk for 10 hours, but my kids need picked up.
No, they got legs. I don't know where they are. They have legs.
Happy Pride Month.
So much fun.
This was fun. We have to talk again.
Yes, we definitely.
Oh, that would be great. I would love that. I had so much fun. And as I was waiting for this to come up, I'm like, I want to talk about this. And don't forget, I actually have a bunch of Post-it notes that I wrote notes on. I wrote the Susan Lucci movie on one. I wrote the Guiding Light information on one, just so I didn't forget it. Because I definitely wanted to make sure it made its way. Because I knew which characters I wanted to talk about, of course. But but there were other things I Post-its everywhere.
Oh, awesome. Well, this is my notes that I reference every week is my clipboard.
Nice. Well, thank you for the invite and inviting me in and from the other side of the state.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, you're not even that far away, right? Kind of. Pennsylvania is a bigger state than most people think it is.
Most people realize,
Yeah.
But
but it would be so fun to get together sometime, too.
Yes, I would love that. I would absolutely.
I'm going to definitely check out your Broken Hollow Banshee, though. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. So, I have your email. So, what I'll do is I'll send the R5 link to you, and then on there that you can find all the episodes, as well as some of my other stuff on there, and some of the other things we've done. You also get to hear me, in addition to writing for the website. I've also acted in a couple of them, so you'll get to hear some of that as well.
Oh,
awesome! Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
God, thank you. Well worth the wait. So, thank you.
Great. Glad to hear.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon, though.
We'll talk to you soon. All right.
Bye.
Bye. I have so much that I need to watch now.
I know. I saw you kept taking notes, and I was like, well, I'll just text her later and be like, hey, what's all that stuff we should watch? Because
have you ever watched The
so
Hours?
Interested. I have not.
Oh, so I read the book when it first came out, and then the movie came out. And typically, I'm sorry, I'm that person that the book is typically better than the movie. Oh,
absolutely.
But sometimes they really mess up the movie or miniseries, and it's not anything like it. The Hours is probably one of the best. I would say The Hours and The Help are probably two of the best adaptations of a book. And it's Nicole Kidman, Meryl Streep, Julianne Moore, Richard Harris.
I mean, that's an awesome
John
cast,
C. Reilly, who, fun fact, General Hospital tie. He had to add the C into his name because of John Reilly, who was Sean Donnelly.
Yes.
But it's really, really good. So I'm really excited to watch it to find it and see what the Met did as an opera.
Right?
But, thank you for clarifying who the heck that guy is that's coming to General Hospital that I do know from all my children.
Yes, that's why I was like, you know him, you liked him. But
I also watched a lot.
I know, but I remember you specifically being like, oh my gosh, the other character I love.
Oh, okay. That makes so much sense. Okay. But I love the fact that, first of all, he watched it for the first time right before we lost it.
Right? Like, that was crazy.
Dedicated to finding out more.
That was crazy for him to be like, no, I didn't see that, but I listened to you guys, or I did a deep dive on my own. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's the one who should be doing a 411 for us.
Yes. I learned a new job that I should have.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. As soon as he started talking about that, I'm like,
that's
a job
already.
That's a job. I'm like, that's what the 411s are. Okay. Yes. Dermatology. No, not dermatology.
No, not dermatology.
Dramatology. Dergatology. I already forgot.
Oh.
I'm sure that, I'm going to listen to this while I edit.
Yes.
Yeah. But, love him. So much fun.
Yeah, that was great.
We love our fans.
We do.
I'm honored.
I was honored. He's like, yeah, we do. Reality check. I was like, oh, thank you.
If you would like to be one of our fan spotlights, please go to peer54podcast.com. There's a form for you to fill out to be a fan spotlight. We have about a half dozen that we still need to get scheduled, but can't guarantee, but we will try our darndest.
Sometime within the next year, we'll get to you.
Hopefully. But thank you again to Rob and for spending the time with us. And thank you to all of our fans. I can't get over the fact that we have fans.
I know. Even just our pipeline this week with so many people are like, thank you for what you do. Like, oh my gosh, you're welcome.
You're welcome. It makes us remember why we do it on the hard days. Sorry, that's my Emmy speech. Can you get an Emmy for a podcast? I don't think so. Grammy. That's my Grammy speech because it's audio, so it should be.
There you go.
Yes.
Yes, we can talk about our microphone difficulties. Through all the mic difficulties, persevered.
You know what? There I will give it. Yes. All right. So join us on Monday as we recap this week's shows.
Have a good weekend.
And we'll meet with the peer.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.